in less than 15 minutes. Gerald?
Okay, Mike, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Right now, a bill which would further restrict abortion in North Carolina is sitting on Governor Roy Cooper's desk. It would change those restrictions from 20 weeks to 12 weeks. It would also require multiple in-person medical visits for abortions. Doctors would face fines or lose their license for failure to comply. Also part of the proposal, new licensing requirements for clinics. Governor Cooper is trying to find enough state lawmakers to vote against an override when he vetoes it. WRAL's Lena Tillett spoke with the governor this afternoon about his plan. Lena?
Deborah, one of the governor's biggest challenges right now is how differently he and Republican lawmakers perceive this abortion ban bill. I started by asking the governor if he thought Senate Bill 20 was middle of the road in any sense. His answer? Absolutely not.
They've tried to disguise the disastrous impacts of this bill, but we're going to expose it. We know it's going to be hard for clinics to stay open with all of the requirements that they have put on this. This has nothing to do with making women safer and has everything to do with banning abortions.
Let's talk about what's next, Governor. You have called on 4 Republicans in particular. You named names to vote against a veto override. Do you have any real hope that they will? And have you heard anything from them?
So we know what they promised their constituents. They don't have to answer to me. They have to answer to their constituents. And their constituents are going to be much more effective in letting them know how this legislation works and that they need to stand up for them and to keep their promises. So we will be talking to people all over the state. We will be educating North Carolinians about what this bill does, that it's not a compromise, that there's a reason that it was rammed through in a very short period of time. There was a reason why they kept it under lock and key until they revealed it and only let the public see it in less than 48 hours.
Why not reach out to voters before anything was released and have an intense campaign before it was released, as opposed to having to do it afterward?
We did. Every single Democrat signed on to legislation that adopts the standard in Roe versus Wade. That was filed in the legislature. They held a big press conference about it. Of course, the legislation never went anywhere because Republicans were in the back room cooking up this bad bill.
I also asked the governor why he believes poorer and rural women will suffer more with this legislation. You can watch my entire interview with the governor on WRAL.com.
Lena Tillett, thank you.
Former North Carolina Congressman Madison Cawthorn pleaded guilty today for bringing a loaded gun through Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Cawthorn was set to go on trial today. Instead, he took a plea deal for a misdemeanor. The judge ordered him to pay a $250 fine. The TSA found the gun in Cawthorn's luggage back in April of 2022.
Teenagers who want to drive won't have to wait